sport. And if anyone out there can diagnose what's gone south for the C's, it is the Hall of Famer Tommy Heinsohn, who's with us tonight from Boston. Tommy, we appreciate the time as always. What have you seen watching this 8-game stretch that concerns you about Boston?
Well, I don't know if you remember this movie. It's an oldie. The Three Faces of Eve. It was a movie about a woman who had a split personality, 3 different personalities. That's what's happened with this basketball team. They learned to play with Kyrie, Kyrie with them. They learned to play without Kyrie. Then they trying to learn how to go back and play with Kyrie after being on their own without him. And that's where the problem is right now in the chemistry.
When you say that there's problems with the chemistry and how you play with Kyrie or without him, how do they solve that and become a cohesive unit? Because there's a lot of, people talking, saying basically they would much rather play without Kyrie. Is there any truth to that also?
Anybody that says they'd rather play without Kyrie is nuts. They're not a basketball person. The guy's a great player. Come on. What I believe happens, it's a freewheeling pattern offense. It's not like the old days where you would call a play. And it's your play. You know where you're going to shoot the ball. Everybody on your team knows. This is an interpretation of your basketball knowledge and your ability to fit what you do best into this system. That's what the problem is right now. I think there's a certain amount of immaturity on how to utilize the system when Kyrie is in the game.
Tommy, my question is, when you look at the Boston Celtics, what a run they had last year without Gordon Hayward, without Kyrie, and I'm definitely not saying it's Kyrie or Gordon Hayward, even though I don't think Gordon's back to 100%. Do they need to lessen the rotation, take some guys out of rotation? And my second question, in your opinion, who's the leader of the Boston Celtics from a player standpoint?
Well, first of all, they did shorten the rotation the other night. They played 9 guys, but the 9th guy only played like a minute. So that's what I think they're attempting to do, to gain a rhythm so everybody gets a feeling. Rozier was injured, didn't play, wasn't on a roster in the last ball game. So that's basically, we're searching for a guy who is going to be the leader. Now, I think Kyrie is the natural leader. He's one of the few players that the Celtics have ever had that was able to interpret the game and know when to utilize his skills either to boost the momentum or to change the momentum, and also to be the closer when you need a guy that can score. So he is the natural leader. I don't know if he's ever done it before. I don't think so. And it requires a certain type of person to do it. Paul Pierce, when he became the captain of the team and was going to be the leader of the club, he went out and bought some books on leadership, believe it or not, and he ended up being a pretty good leader. So I think they're in the process of doing stuff like that.
Well, speaking of leadership, Brad Stevens was kind of the golden boy of NBA coaches his first 4 years, and for good reason. Success on the floor, the team improved every year. This has been easily his most challenging season and certainly the most scrutinized in terms of how he's handling all the challenges. How tough has it been on the coach?
Isn't it amazing how you go from a sure candidate, he should have got it, to coach of the year last year, and all of a sudden he doesn't know anything anymore, all right, in 1 year. This guy is a great basketball coach. He's one of the few people that I've seen come into the coaching ranks that goes to win the games and still develop players at the same time. He's willing to put players in the game who he knows are going to make mistakes. So what's going on right now is he's trying to fit pieces together on the fly. It's very difficult because it's like the leading man in a play is now asked to be the spear holder in the background. And they're asking the spear holder in the background to be the leading man at times. So roles are getting confused here, and that's what I think is happening, confusion. He's trying to iron it out.
That's your second theatrical reference of this interview, by the way, Tommy. For younger viewers at home, 1957, Three Faces of Eve. Joanne Woodward won the Oscar for Best Leading Actress.
That's right.
All right, we appreciate the time, Tommy. Good to talk to you. We'll talk movies again next time.
See your local psychiatrist, will you?